Joe Rogan just dropped a blistering roast on The View hosts, and trust me, this is no light-hearted daytime spat gone off track. The reason? Charlie Kirk has slammed them with a jaw-dropping $100 million lawsuit, shaking the entire media landscape. Think you've seen drama before? Not even close. This is chaos cranked to the max, fueled by Rogan's raw, unapologetic firepower. When Rogan steps into the arena, there's no retreat, and every word he fires lands like a thunderclap you simply can't ignore.
We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a way.
Charlie Kirk didn't just take a swing, he dropped a $100 million legal hammer on The View hosts, shaking the media world like an earthquake. Yes, you heard that right, $100 million. This isn't a slip of the tongue, it's a shot fired with maximum impact. When your name gets tossed around on national TV like throwaway gossip, and you've got the resources to strike back, you don't sit quietly. You go all in. Kirk isn't bluffing for headlines, he's making it crystal clear he's ready to turn up the heat and fight fire with a financial inferno.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there, of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country, that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to...
This lawsuit isn't just a heated argument that spiraled out of control, it's a calculated strike, wrapped in a multi-million-dollar warning shot. The View treated Charlie Kirk like it was open season, hurling accusations around like confetti at a parade. It felt like one of those Oprah giveaways, you get accused, everybody gets accused. But when Kirk finally pushed back, the whole thing exploded into a legal spectacle. And make no mistake, this isn't about bruised egos. This is a high-stakes battle with a price tag so massive it could make Hollywood blush.
I mean, The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's
dumb.
deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked and you went on stage with it and it's nothing
just
there.
Go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Now the hosts of The View are busy spinning their usual daytime drama, clutching their pearls and brushing it off like it's just a little mix-up over some harmless comment. But let's be clear. This isn't a small misunderstanding. This is a $100 million misunderstanding. That kind of number makes your average reality TV feud look like a playground squabble. This isn't petty. This is high-stakes courtroom combat, and under this spotlight, the heat on The View has never burned brighter.
Now we begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced neo who showed up outside the...
And then Joe Rogan steps in, because who else could turn this blaze into a full-blown inferno? The man who turned podcasting into a full-contact sport just dropped his take, and it wasn't a sprinkle of sarcasm, It was a truckload of mockery. Watching Rogan dismantle The View hosts is like watching a grizzly bear give a masterclass on stealing honey from bees, raw, unpredictable, and strangely satisfying. Imagine the guy who usually debates alien sightings and MMA strategy now tearing into daytime TV royalty for their let's act serious routine. It's like a Michelin star chef dissecting a microwave dinner, brutally precise and impossible to look away from. And why do Rogan's shots hit so hard? Simple. He doesn't play their game. The View thrives on shouting matches and theatrical outrage, but when Rogan fires blunt truth like heavy punches, they stumble. Their empire is built on being loud, yet when real legal firepower shows up, the volume mysteriously drops. Rogan calls out their endless finger-pointing while dodging their own accountability, and it's striking them exactly where it hurts most.
See what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
You know, just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk isn't dragging this lawsuit around just for headlines. He's delivering a message about media accountability in an era where smearing someone on national television has become a favorite pastime. The View might see themselves as untouchable daytime royalty, but Kirk's move is the legal equivalent of a MIC drop: loud, costly, and impossible to ignore. That on one side, you've got hosts who built careers on outrage and opinion, treating consequences like background noise. On the other, you've got a conservative powerhouse with the resources to say, not this time. And here are $100 million reasons why. Joe Rogan's commentary only magnifies the irony, putting a harsh spotlight on hosts who preach from a moral high ground that collapses the second a lawsuit hits. This isn't a minor clash, it's a front-row seat to today's media battlefield, where lawsuits are weapons, outrage is currency, and the audience is perched on the edge of their seats, waiting for the next scandal to erupt.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me, and it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
the hosts of The View are now caught in a crossfire that's blown their playbook to pieces. Their old strategy, shout first, dodge the fallout later, doesn't work when fiery soundbites collide head-on with looming courtroom dates. And if the $100 million lawsuit wasn't enough, Joe Rogan's takedown is pouring salt straight into the wound. With his sharp wit and unapologetic delivery, he's exposing what so many suspected. Those serious discussions often border on pure theater, until someone actually pushes back. For years, The View thrived on selective outrage, targeting others while keeping their own image polished. But now, Kirk's lawsuit and Rogan's relentless mockery have ripped the curtain away, showing just how fragile that justice looks when the consequences hit your bank account. Viewers are watching what feels like a daytime TV implosion, complete with $1 million price tag and a podcast legend acting as the referee. And here's the real shocker: The View has gone quiet. No fiery clapbacks, no dramatic walkouts, just uneasy silence. Because once legal papers land and Rogan's roast goes viral, the rules of the game change completely.
Culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stopped looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, right, whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side. We're on the right side. And if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do. And no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge. And on that bridge, they'll see RFK. They'll see Elon.
This lawsuit isn't just another midday headline you scroll past while sipping coffee. It's a blazing spotlight on the wild jungle of modern media polarization. In this arena, every insult is a live grenade, and every lawsuit is a precision missile. The battle between Charlie Kirk and The View isn't an isolated feud. It's playing out in the center of a culture so divided, it could star in its own reality series called America, Feud Edition. Today, lawsuits have become sharper political weapons than the loudest viral rant online. Forget neighborhood disputes, now it's $100 million legal wars over daytime talk show drama. It's a power move, a reminder that money can shout louder than ratings. And when you can't win the war of words on camera, you drag the fight into court and let attorneys turn it into theater. This case proves the legal system has become the grand stage of media warfare, transforming public disputes into multi-million-dollar gladiator matches where only the most relentless survive. That on one side, you have shows like The View, masters of performance outrage, a kind of outrage theater where every episode needs a new villain to attack. On the other, you have power players with the means, and the will, to flip the script.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman, and they yell over her and silence her, and, you know, they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's just, it's a bizarre show.
On the other side, you've got conservative figures like Charlie Kirk, who turned outrage into fuel, and now into lawsuits. This isn't just two sides trading disagreements. It's a full-blown war for influence over public opinion with all the subtlety of a wrecking ball through glass. This saga plays out like a mix of legal thriller, reality show spectacle, and circus act, where news pretends to be theater and theater pretends to be news. One moment, the topic is a serious national issue. The next, a lawsuit drops with the drama of a blockbuster movie twist. The lines blur so completely that viewers don't know whether to be outraged, amused, or just grab popcorn. And here's the kicker, nobody's sure what's real and what's pure performance. The accusations, the lawsuit, Rogan's roast, it's all part of a perfectly staged media storm built to keep eyes locked on the screen. This has gone far beyond Kirk versus The View. It's another explosive episode in the endless soap opera starring politics, media, and big money.
Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar, so I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird, so I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show, if the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of, like, there are so many brilliant women out there, none of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
X.
Okay. Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's rough.
What's next in this unpredictable storm? Honestly, anything could happen, and probably will. The hosts of The View might try to quietly settle, because nothing says damage control like cutting a massive check to make the fire die down. Or, this could erupt into a long, messy courtroom showdown, dragging every embarrassing email, off-camera rant, and behind-the-scenes secret straight into the spotlight. Just imagine the discovery phase, a vault of juicy receipts spilling out faster than a TV producer can hit record. If this fight makes it to trial, expect less calm legal strategy and more theatrical grandstanding. Both sides treating the courtroom as their latest stage for headlines and viral clips. Sure, The View might try to polish their image, tone down the shouting, maybe even rehearse restraint. But don't count on it. Drama is their lifeblood, and this lawsuit is the most dramatic storyline they've had in years. Meanwhile, social media will keep fueling the fire, memes, sarcastic tweets, and viral edits fanning the flames non-stop. And Joe Rogan? He's not stepping away after one jab. He's made it clear this feud isn't just daytime fluff, it's a battle that's about to get very, very real.
Is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here, because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right. Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly get.
This lawsuit is the perfect storm in a media world ruled by viral outrage and influencer firepower, where the old rules simply don't apply anymore. One tweet can ignite a war, one video can dominate the internet overnight, and one podcast clip can turn a lawsuit into a national spectacle. Nobody knows exactly where this is headed, but one thing is certain, it won't be dull. This real-life soap opera has every ingredient for a long, chaotic, and wildly entertaining clash. Millions are watching, dissecting every twist, sharing every clip, and arguing over every detail. The View's legal battle isn't just about money. It's a case study in how public feuds become weapons, how egos collide, and how the line between journalism and entertainment keeps vanishing. In this war of hashtags, lawsuits, and ruthless roasts, no one walks away without scars. With Joe Rogan's MIC still hot and Charlie Kirk's legal team locked and loaded, the next chapter promises even more chaos, comedy, and courtroom fireworks. The ultimate punchline? One day you're calling the shots, the next, you're dodging subpoenas and getting roasted on a podcast that usually talks about elk hunting and UFOs. Karma clearly has a sense of humor, and this time, it's serving it with a $100 million price tag.